is called the nose or boat. Intellect plays in the nose, rarefied, undecorated, primer, not quite a brown rat. With all plainness, the idea, making things crank, antiphonic, anticipates boats. That ting in ear might be tinnitus or buzz of endless talk, gas-lit, a disconnected kiss, anthracitic distillate to weigh against, animation so cold it's hot, white at the bottom of the flame. Clear, there is dead, and there is this afloat. For one chance at this thick warp, variation yields to force.
But it works with the tinnitus, right?
It did.
Should I stop it?
What's that?
Now we hear the tinnitus from the machine.
Oh, how's it from back here?
That's good.
It's better.
Yeah.
If it sounds bad, interrupt me.
Okay. Not a will.
Thought as tuning fork, or Nada can interrupt me. Turnabout, candy wrapper, tumbling peach-colored in the air, careen toward passing numbers, one a vellum spread to view. Roofing darkness is faint noiselessness, housed there is unnamed hue. What hurts more than desire is more, just ask Cynthia. Whirring less than silver rain, silent aggregate, peels an empty lane. Thrust to wits, bargaining her patent launches, coil deep inside the cortex resides. Equivalent green hair heaving in our skin grows erect, hanging wet. Up to the moment, parting trees, dashing child with arabesques moving in. Marble thought, if that means anything, swirl. Place a blue tab on the page. Shelter is brown, just think about it. Cage as grail, thought as tuning fork. Is that better? Yes. Yeah. Series of poems, maybe one poem, still working at it. This radical disintegration of parts, squeals, gesture, erasure, assertive, tearing away or open a hole in the scene, the grid everybody sees, to be vulgar, mass and volume, flesh is modular, peeling back themselves, reduced to an immense silence, a thick mucus in the throat, proxy for pedigree, all pleasure being equal. You are not supposed to look good if you have desire. The best guest trapped beneath surface tension, cursive against cursive, seminal in the plain air, crossfade, taxi, unmade, stretched, contractible, catching light in the pass, staving dissension, becoming apart, what seems to be nothing, this is what happens. This radical disintegration of parts, squeals, gesture, erasure, assertive, tearing away or open a hole in the scene, the grid that everybody sees, to be vulgar, mass and volume, flesh is modular, peeling back themselves, reduced to a thick mucus in the throat, proxy for pedigree, becoming apart, all pleasure being equal. You are not supposed to look good if you have desire, X, or face in a bubble, or nosing in on its contour, turning away from nothing, the best guess trapped beneath surface tension, cursive against cursive, seminal in the plain air, crossfade, taxi, unmade, stretched, contractible, catching light in the pass. This radical tearing away of parts, squeals, gesture, erasure, assertive, opening a hole in the scene, the grid everybody sees, or becoming a part of all pleasure being equal. You are not supposed to look good if you have nothing, desire, X, or face in a bubble, or nosing in on its contour, turning away from the best guess trapped beneath cursive against cursive, Piper, blow, blow hard in the plain air, crossfade, taxi, unmade, stretched, contractible, tension, catching light through the wreck, approximate, devilish, burgundy, pressed to function, throat, instrumental to itself, in the and serial. X or face in a bubble or nosing in on its contour, V-shaped, pointing from to the best guess, trapped beneath surface tension, seminal, to be vulgar, mass and volume, flesh is modular, peeling back themselves, tearing away or open a hole in the scene, the grid everybody sees reduced to a thick mucus in the throat, proxy for pedigree becoming a part, all pleasure being equal, you are not supposed to look good if you have desire, vicinal, in the plain air, crossfade, taxi, unmade, stretched, contractible, catching light through the wreck, instrumental to itself, in the and serial. In the plain air, crossfade, taxi, unmade, stretched, contractible, catching light through the wreck, bursting surface, pus left in the V-shape, your excellence for the time being, forget about moving forward. It tastes, it's been real, by it matters, all pleasure being equal, mass and volume. Flesh is modular, instrumental to itself, nosing in on its contour, cursive against cursive, turning away from, trapped beneath, peeling back, next left open a hole. In the grid, everybody sees, reduced to a thick mucus, an immense silence torn from field, lost detail, dispatched, lone trace for seconds caught intact. This is what happens in the plain air, stretched, contractible, catching light through the wreck, bursting surface, trapped beneath another face, unmade, pus left in your form, your excellence, all pleasure being equal, its contour torn from field, instrumental to itself, becoming distinction, reduced to throat, what seems to be open, alone, fill in, pause, service, condition, nosing in on, desire, lost detail, dispatched for seconds, returned in grammar, tension's bow into curve, flesh on paper, cursive against cursive, needle to square, lean, vital, read into parenthesis, etymon, further, what you want more than want. Three short ones and then I'm finished. The artists want to sit in a room together. The artists want to sit in a room together, talk and not talk about the wars around them. In the fashion of artists, they sip, nibble, pine for argument's sake, the variations of yellow. Today, a bourgeois moment, each protean connoisseur howls a coloratura promising not to forget photos of the amputee in erotic thong. Their bricolage forged, available in unlimited editions. For Noguchi's Undying, poem called Nadia. What allows arousal, paradox, first figure, there is no odor. A point of rest, rock, heart, right, wind evidenced. At the crest, finger in mouth, lambent state, curl, gloss leaks in mouth, head in hand, Lucy's, surely not a table, but a bed, shorn limb from rock, skin of eye, thistle, still splitting limits, core to open, rare coin.